Do you ever have times when you feel stressed, but you just can't seem to shake it? Maybe it comes from something good, like a new job or a move. Or it might be from something difficult, and it's more of a long-term situation that is harder to get out of. Stress happens to all of us, and our bodies were created with a healthy stress response that ideally kicks in and then comes back into balance. But what about the times that we can't seem to shake it? This kind of chronic stress can have some damaging effects on our physical, emotional, and mental well-being. And I kind of think that's why God created a special little group of herbs called adaptogens. Adaptogens are herbs or foods that help our bodies adapt to the stress in our lives. They actually work by increasing our resistance to physical or emotional stress while nourishing the systems affected by it. They work with our bodies to help give us a more balanced response to the stress we face. One really cool thing about adaptogens is that the majority of them are generally recognized as safe and are gentle and nourishing in nature. You, of course, always want to check them individually for your situation, especially if you have special needs, such as being on medications or in the midst of nursing or pregnancy. For the most part, though, many adaptogens are considered safe, even for children. Personally, I love this because I think sometimes it can be easy to forget that our children experience stress too. They can often feel our stress or experience stressors of their own. I love having natural ways to help them deal with the things that stress them as well. Now, picking out an adaptogen to use can be a little bit trickier because there are so many amazing ones to choose from. However, while they all work to help the body cope with stress, they also each have their personal specialties. And since each of us have our own unique needs, taking a specific look at these can help us pick which adaptogen might benefit us the most. To start with, I like to ask myself a few questions. The first one being, is there a specific area of my body that I know needs a little extra support? I know that sometimes I'm needing a boost in certain areas, or I have areas that I just know I need a little extra support in. Adaptogens are great for this because different ones can specialize in targeting specific areas of the body. Next, is there a specific action I'm in need of? Do I need to calm down a little bit, or do I need a definite energy boost? What about a little of both, where it soothes the anxiety but helps me feel a little less sluggish? Well, there's probably an adaptogen for all of those. After that, I like to look a little deeper at myself and ask, is there a specific area of the body that I am holding stress? We're all unique, and that can include where our bodies tend to hold stress. Next time you feel stressed, take note of what you feel first. Does your stomach start churning? Do you find yourself needing to take slow, steady breaths? Do you notice yourself massaging your shoulders or neck? These are good ways to target exactly where you harbor stress. After I answer all these questions, the next one would be, how do you even use adaptogens? And the short answer is lots of ways. Adaptogens are, well, adaptable and can be used in multiple ways. Depending on the specific herb, you can add them to teas, create a tincture, mix the powders into smoothies, or put them in capsules. You can mix them into hot chocolate, or make a sweet syrup, or incorporate them into yummy recipes like a few that we're gonna look at in a few minutes. So before we go any further, allow me to introduce you to a few amazing adaptogens and how they answer the questions above. Ashwagandha is one of my most favorite adaptogens. It is generally considered safe and gentle enough even for kids and is incredibly nourishing. Its specialty targets include nourishing the thyroid, helping to reduce blood sugar and cortisol levels, helping to modulate the immune system, and supporting a healthy nervous system. Its actions include being anti-inflammatory, supporting memory and focus, and helping to calm the nerves while still supporting healthy energy levels, even in the midst of stress. Ashwagandha has a slightly bitter, woody taste to it, but I think it's very mild. It's really easy to mix it in with things because its flavor isn't overpowering. Some of the ways I like to use it is to mix the powder in with recipes or in smoothies, or add the root to my daily tea blend. Reishi is also generally considered safe and is only cautioned for those with a mushroom allergy. Its specialty systems include the immune system and the respiratory system, helping to support healthy respiratory function and boost oxygen utilization. Its actions include helping to decrease fatigue, It's really high in antioxidants, and some studies show that it may even be beneficial in fighting cancer. Reishi has a really mild taste that blends especially well with chocolate. Some of the ways it's used includes being mixed into hot chocolate or as a powder to be mixed into coffee or other drinks. Eleuthero, which is also known as Siberian ginseng, is an awesome little adaptogen that does a whole lot. When used in proper amounts and in pure form, it's generally considered safe with a few specific contraindications. It specifically targets blood sugar modulation and helps to stimulate adrenal and thyroid health. Its actions include helping to boost energy, improve focus, mood, and memory, and help increase the efficiency of how oxygen is delivered to the cells. It helps support against anxiety, and when taken before exercise, it can actually enhance some of the benefits of a workout. During a typical workout, natural killer cells are activated in your body and last for a couple of hours. With Eleuthero, the killer cells can stay active for up to 24 hours. Eleuthero has a really herby plant flavor. While the flavor isn't the most delicious, it is really easy to mask and it mixes well with other flavors. I like to use the root in syrups and teas, and the powder is great in smoothies or other foods. Rhodiola is another one that is generally considered safe. It focuses in on supporting healthy energy levels all the way on the cellular level. It mostly works as a restorative tonic, but it's especially helpful in helping with focus, energy, and vitality. It's said to especially help those who feel exhausted. Rhodiola does have a bit of a strong flavor, which makes it a little more challenging to hide. You can put it in capsules though, or disguise it with other strong flavors such as cinnamon and ginger. I love using it to boost my energy before I exercise and just as a general booster in the afternoon. Astragalus is also generally considered safe even for children. Astragalus is another amazing adaptogen that works to target a healthy immune system. It has also been shown to help regulate blood sugar and blood pressure. It has also been used to support a healthy urinary tract. It's another one that has a strong and somewhat unique flavor. I love to use it in elderberry syrup or blend it into immune boosting tea blends. Tulsi is also known as holy basil, and it's an all-around amazing herb and tonic to the body that is generally considered safe and gentle. It specifically targets support of the digestive system. It's also soothing and calming to the nervous system. Tulsi has a lovely mild flavor that pairs beautifully with peppermint. I love drinking it in tea or using it in the tummy soothing soda recipe. Schisandra berries are an amazing little berry with a super unique flavor. Some sources say that some people experience indigestion or itchiness, but otherwise there are no known contraindications. It does have one caution, and that is in that it works to soothe stress by suppressing the central nervous system. In order to help keep that calmness without making it too depressing, many people take it with ginseng, especially for those who want stress relief but struggle with depression. Schisandra works to target the liver, helping to support a healthy liver and revive liver cells. It's also considered an overall tonic. It works to help support physical stamina and increase digestive enzymes. It's also said to help protect the brain from oxidative stress. The flavor of Schisandra is especially unique. The Chinese word for these berries translates 5 flavor seeds because they can create a burst of sweet, salty, bitter, sour, and spicy flavors all at once. I love to use this in a tonic syrup, and it tastes kind of like a sweet and sour candy. You can use these wonderful little plants by themselves, or you can combine these adaptogens together to form powerhouse boosts based on their specialties. Doing things such as combining Rhodiola and Eleuthero to amp up the effects of your fitness routine. Team up Astragalus and Reishi for a special immune booster. Put together Astragalus and Eleuthero to help with blood sugar balance. You can also add in other herbs to increase specific target actions. Tulsi is amazing with peppermint for digestive stress, or you can combine Astragalus with elderberry for an immune booster. Now, just to give you some examples, here are 5 wonderful recipes for using adaptogens that are already family approved. Feel free to change up the herbs though used in these recipes to create blends that suit you the most. These truffles are loaded with nutrients and adaptogens to help give a delectable afternoon perk up just when that 2 o'clock slump hits. To make these truffles, you take 1 cup of coconut butter, 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of ashwagandha powder, 1 teaspoon of Eleuthero powder, 3/4 cup of freeze dried strawberries, 4 tablespoons of pure maple syrup, and 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. You just throw everything into a food processor until it's fully pureed and combined. After it's all combined together, take tablespoon-sized scoops and roll them into balls and lay them out on a parchment-lined cookie sheet. Place them in the fridge to firm up. You can even dip these in chocolate to take them to the next level of lusciousness, but keep in mind that this does up the sugar content as well. I was assuming my family actually wouldn't like these because they're a bit different than typical truffles. I was proven wrong when my husband started asking for more and my kids changed the name to Eat Them All Truffles. Anyone who has had an upset tummy knows how soothing a glass of soda can be, but the amount of nasty ingredients in most sodas can actually increase the problems. While this smooth and delicious soda does have some sugar, it also contains the soothing benefits of Tulsi and Peppermint with a gentle hint of vanilla. For this soda, you'll need 2 cups of water, 1.5 cups of sugar, 1/8 of a cup of dried peppermint leaves, 1/8 of a cup of dried holy basil, 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract, and a bottle of club soda. First, you make a syrup by combining the water, sugar, peppermint, holy basil, and vanilla in a medium-sized saucepan. Bring all that to a boil and then turn it down and simmer it for 15 minutes. Then turn off the heat and strain the herbs and allow the syrup to cool. To make a glass of soda, simply pour about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the syrup into a pint-sized cup and fill the rest of the way with club soda. You can adjust the syrup based on how sweet you like it. Store the unused syrup in the fridge. Whether it's a tummy upset by stress or what you ate that night, this soda is a delicious way to help soothe and calm. The first time my husband tried it, he kept exclaiming at how smooth and tasty it was and how calm it made him feel. These are delicious little gummy bears and are a spectacular way to get adaptogens into your kiddos to encourage focus during school or helping them deal with the stressors of the day. For the gummies, you need 1/4 cup of ashwagandha root, 1/4 cup of holy basil, boiling water, 1/2 cup of pure fruit juice, I used pomegranate, 1/4 cup of powdered beef gelatin, and 1/2 cup of honey. Start by making an infusion by placing your herbs in a quart-sized jar and covering with the 2 cups of boiling water. Put a lid on the jar and allow it to steep for 1 hour. Strain off the herbs and allow it to cool completely. Once it's cool, place 1/2 cup of the infusion and 1/2 cup of juice in a medium saucepan and sprinkle the gelatin over top of the liquid. Allow it to set for 5 minutes to allow the gelatin to bloom. Turn the saucepan onto medium heat and warm it just until the gelatin dissolves and the mixture is warm. Remove it from the heat and whisk in the honey. Place it in your molds or pans and allow it to set for about an hour. Don't be deterred from this recipe if you don't have molds, as you can also just pour it into an 8x8 pan and cut into small squares after they harden. This makes more than what fits in my 2 molds, so I always do that with the extra. Remove from the molds or cut up if using pans and store in a jar or airtight container in the fridge. Or if you like, you can skip cutting it and you can just use mini cookie cutters and let your kids cut out the little shapes. These are fruity and my kids love them. You can also adjust the ratio of juice to infusion to increase the herbal benefits, but this does take the fruity flavor down a notch. These little no-bake protein balls contain Rhodiola and Eleuthero, plus protein, fiber, and healthy fat, making them a great little snack before a workout or just a boost in the afternoon. The oat straw powder also contains minerals that can help replenish your body after a good sweaty workout. You need 1 cup of oats, 1/4 cup of flour. I like to use white whole wheat flour, but you can use whatever flour you prefer. 2 tablespoons of oat straw powder, 2 teaspoons of Eleuthero root powder, 2 teaspoons of Rhodiola powder, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/3 of a cup of pure maple syrup, 1/2 cup of almond butter or nut butter of choice, 1/2 cup of finely grated carrot, 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, and 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. You can also add 1/2 cup of white chocolate chips if desired. Rhodiola does have a distinct flavor that's really hard to disguise, but the ginger, cinnamon, and nutmeg do a great job with that. Some people have said they can still taste a little, but judging from the fact that I have to guard them from my kids so that I can have a few, some people definitely don't mind the flavor. This syrup is really tasty, making it really easy to take. This one was created when I realized I needed to do some things to support my liver health specifically. The flavor of the berries make this syrup incredibly tasty, but you can make a syrup like this using any herbs you want. For this, you will need a half a cup of Schisandra berries, a half a cup of Eleuthero root, 4 cups of water, and 1 cup of honey. Make a decoction by placing the herbs and water in a medium saucepan and place a lid on top. Simmer on medium heat for 1 hour. Strain off the herbs and pour the decoction into a jar. Add in the honey while the decoction is still warm and gently mix to combine. You can store this in the fridge for 3 to 4 weeks. I like to take about a tablespoon every day. You could even add different additional herbs such as milk thistle seed or dandelion root for additional support. You would just want to keep the herb to water ratios the same. Sweet syrups are a great way to help kids get herbs in too. Hopefully you've enjoyed meeting this wonderful little family of herbs and learning the amazing ways they can support the body. I would love to hear your comments below on how you use adaptogens. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to keep up to date on all our wellness videos.